Hi, good afternoon. I wanted to make a video today. It has been a while since I've made a video, but I wanted to make a video today to show you how quick and easily you can turn your computer font into an embroidery text very quickly. And I know what I noticed is doing it this way does take, a few seconds longer than just using the pre-digitized fonts that you have purchased or from the EmbroideryWare. Um, but specifically, to me, it's so much easier to do it this way as opposed to going through my folders and looking for PES fonts that I've purchased in the past. These actually stitch out really nicely without any problems. They will stitch out based on what you digitize them to look like. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to point out I am using EmbroideryWare version 2.6.8. This is the latest embroidery version. So just to coordinate that, because there's been lots of different versions, and so some things may not look the same on your software as in mine, and that would be why. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. This T right here is where you find your computer fonts. So I'm going to click on that, and I already have Jen in there, and I think I'm going to change the font for this. You can pick the font, and I think I'm going to go with this. So I'm just picking a font. These are all fonts that I have on my computer, so you can pick any one of those. Underline, I don't know about any of those. I just do this. I bold, sometimes medium. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. The size, I never really care about that because I'll resize it based on what my hoop will be or how big I need it into my design. I'll make it OK. So that's really cute. It's funky. I usually don't mess with all this other stuff. I just leave it as drawn just because I want to change it when I get in there. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. All right, so I have this in here, and we'll go ahead and just move this down. I'm going to go ahead and resize it, though. Let me make it pretty big. There we go. So I want to point out that, okay, so I have 3 letters here, but if you look over here into the graphic objects, I actually have 4 objects. And that reason being is because this E. This E has the outside and then the inside, so that makes up 2 different graphics there. All right, so I'll unclick everything there. And so I think about what I want it to look like, what I'm going after before I get started. So I'm going to want these filled. And specifically, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to want a fill pattern. So let's click that. And I click on this. The little 3 dots over here brings up this this select box. And so I'm going to go ahead with this zigzag pattern, this fill pattern. So I just double click that. I'm just going to keep everything like it is, the angle and whatnot. And so I really like that. Now you notice I did not fill this hole because actually I'm going to, cut that out of the E now that I have this fill area done. But before I do that, I'm thinking that when I'm done, I'm going to want to have a triple stitch around these letters. I think when you do fill letters, specifically fill letters, I think it looks a lot nicer if you have some sort of border around those. That's just my opinion. So I'm going to want to do that. And thinking that when I add this hole from this to this will disappear. So I know right off the bat I need to duplicate that because I want to have that again later. So I'm just going to duplicate that. And so now I have 2 of those. So to go ahead, oh wait, let's back up. I want to undo that because again, I can make this look however I want, but I think I'm actually wanting this hole to be just a little bit bigger. That's just going to be my preference. And being that I'm the one that's digitizing this, I can make this look however I want. So I don't have to be specific to what the font looks like. I'm, want it to make a little bit more like what I want. And you can change all of this to look however you want. Specifically, like what if I wanted this J, to be a little bit wider, there we go. See, look at that. You can just make these however you want. And I'm thinking that I'm going to need to do a little bit better spacing here. So let's go ahead and move these guys over. Okay, so let's get on with removing that hole in the E, or putting the hole in the E. But we're adding a hole because that's what the tools are in this program. So the add hole function is over here, or it's easily accessible right over here on the right hand side, add a hole. You can also find it in these menus here. No, it's in this one, add a hole right here. So at the bottom left hand corner, after you click that button or you click it in the menu, it'll tell you what to do down here, and it says click on the curve to add the hole to. Okay, so you can do that, or what I just do is I said, what I do is I click the graphic thumbnail. So this is what one I want to add the hole to. So I'm clicking that. Now the menu has changed. Now click on the graphic thumbnail. So click on that. Bam. See, it's all gone. And what happened earlier? Why did my duplicate one disappear? So I went undo a couple times because I don't know what happened to the one I duplicated. So I'm gonna duplicate that again and start over. Oh, I know why, because I sized it and I forgot to duplicate it after I sized it. Okay, all right, I'm there. I'm still here. Okay, so let's do this again. I'm gonna click on the add hole function. I'm going to click on the graphic that I want to put the hole in, and then I'm going to click on the graphic that I'm using as the hole, and bam, see, there we go. And remember, the reason why I duplicated that is because I thought in the end I would like to use that for a bean stitch around. Okay, so I have that, and I move that to the bottom. I'm going to click on these, and I'm going to duplicate those. And those are down there, and I want to move that down too. There we go. Oh, I didn't need to do that. I'm so sorry. All right, let's undo these. I had too many clicked. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. Okay. So I'm going to click these. Let's go ahead and make these all the same color. I like this blue down here. And I'm going to change those to a single stitch around. And I'm going to make these down here in the stitch type. I'm going to change that to triple. Bam. There we go. And how does this look? That looks pretty good. Actually, I think I would more prefer, these to be like a pinky color. I just don't think the outside should be the more light color. My preference anyway. So let's see what that looks like. Yes, that's what I'm going for. That looks pretty nice. So do you see how nice it looks having a triple stitch around there? Now we have a couple areas that we would need to fix. And how I fix these areas, and I'm specifically talking about this right here because we actually want those to come in a little bit. And how I fix those is I add anchors. And I'm going to go ahead and click on all of the outer edges, all the triple stitches, and I'm going to start adding anchors to where I think they need to be. And I just look around for areas that aren't fitting into the edge area. And so I know, see how this one's coming across here, so we definitely want to have one there. This one's coming across here. Like I said, this is going to stitch out really nice, but it is based on our skills as looking at this and how we want it to look. Um, Always do a test stitch out of your design before putting on something nice or the the real thing. Just to be sure, because you want to make sure there might be some little thing that you want to change, and you won't know that until you actually watch it stitch out. So it's not bad. There's not really that many areas that need to be fixed. Just a few, and clicking on these is taking care of them. And the nice thing is being having the color a different color than the fill. You're able to see them a lot nicer. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this again. I always use the 3D option, and here we go. See, it looks really good. Click on that one. Did you notice when I click the 3D option to look at it, you can see the stitch going around, and if something looks wonky, um, you can go back in and fix it and add that anchor, and it looks really good. So let me go ahead and take a step back and look at that. Now, one other thing, we're not quite done yet because we would want to add an underlay for here. So, and how to do that is I would go ahead and take my 3 letters and I would duplicate those. And then I'd make sure I move those to the top. Hold on one second. And add your fill underlay. There you go. And always make sure that's the same color. You wouldn't really want to have that different color. So thanks, guys.